situation to have him get a lot of time now where he doesn't have to worry about making a mistake because he's going to be on the floor just because of numbers. And Shaq Stokes, his ability, he has the ability to score the basketball, to deliver the basketball, and if he can get on a little run in this ball game, he could have a really nice ball game for Hawaii. They need him to have a nice ball game.
Absolutely. So Hawaii back home after that 2-game road trip. You may recall at the beginning of the season, they played Gonzaga north of the border in Canada. Then they did that other road trip where they played on the mainland and they went to Pepperdine, they went to Pacific. So what's with this team, the Road Warriors, and performing pretty well? We talked to them about doing a little bit of early season traveling.
I think the road trip to Pepperdine Pacific really helped a lot just because, it's going all the way over to the mainland and, experiencing a little bit bus rides and stuff because, during WAC it's a lot of bus rides and a lot of small airplanes and connections. So I think that definitely helped and, it's just helping for us, just to get a feeling of what it's going to be like through WAC season and it definitely helped this first road trip.
It's a mental toughness that comes with the road and I would dare say that we've traveled, especially if you throw in the China trip, more than anybody in the country, probably double. So this team, there's no real excuses. We can talk about tired legs and this, that, and the other, but we've been there, done that. So I think we're just kind of, this team this last week took on a real business approach of we're going to go there, we're just going to play for 80 minutes. In this case, we had to go 85. And then we came home. So I like the mindset of this team. I think this team is going to be, I'm hoping and I believe that they'll be a tough road team, even though obviously it is a lot tougher to win on the road than it is at home, but I'm hoping this team will continue to be pretty tough out on the road.
Gib Arnold, of course, mentioning that trip to China. What we didn't mention, but you saw the video of, is the 2 not-so-long road trips to the Big Island and to Maui, 2 games where they won. But even though those are short trips, that team building that you get when you're together 24/7 on the road, that is huge and can pay big dividends down the road.
Yeah, no question about it, Howard. And this team is starting to come together. They're starting to play real well together. They're starting to understand each other. And when a team starts to really feel good about each other, they play much, much better. And that's what's happened with this Hawaii team. I said after they've won against Fresno State, if they could be tough and be in the ball game down the stretch against Nevada, it would go a long way towards making them feel real confident. Well, I think it's a very confident team right now. And if they can continue to play mentally tough, they'll be in this all the way.
Perhaps not so confident Louisiana Tech. 8-10 overall, 0-3 in the Western Athletic Conference. And here they are in the Stan Sheriff Center. We'll look ahead and we'll talk about La Tech. The Bulldogs when we come back. Everybody stick around. You're watching Warrior basketball action on OC Sports. We are Oceania's Time Warner Cable. Back at the Stanley, the Bulldogs and Warriors standing by. The Wahine already proving victorious against the Lady Texters tonight. Getting ready to call the action. Standing by is Kanoa Leahy and the coach Tony Salido. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thanks a lot, Dash. Well, Coach, bad news for Hawaii getting ready for this WAC battle against the Bulldogs. They will be without Maya Ostrowski, who was fighting what was referred to as a staph infection all week, did not even practice this week. Zane Johnson, we are being told, is out because of flu-like symptoms. So you have your two seniors on the team, your backcourt, top assist man, top scorer, out of the lineup. How does the University of Hawaii respond here in this situation?
Well, I think, this happens to every team. I was watching the basketball game this afternoon, and they said the thing that perhaps every coach hates to hear. Injuries and sickness are part of the game. And that's why you always have to recruit 8, 9 deep so that the other guys can step up and just see how good they can perform in a situation like this. I have a great deal of confidence in Stokes. I think he's a terrific basketball player, and I think he'll do very, very well tonight. I have no problems with him. And Brereton starting, I have always said, he has something that I think every coach looks for. He has great set of legs on him, the kid, and he has a strong base, and he's a terrific shooter. So I have a lot of confidence they'll both do very well tonight.
I haven't been given the official starting five just yet, but what we are hearing is Shaquille Stokes and Bobby Miles will be out there along with Hans Brereton. Even if neither of those two together start, talking about Stokes and Miles, they'll certainly get increased minutes tonight with Maya Ostrowski unavailable. What about the mindset of those two? The opportunity now that presents itself for them on display here against Louisiana Tech. How do they approach this situation?
Well, I think, everybody who sits on the bench says, I can play. If they don't say that, then they shouldn't even be suited up. So now they have an opportunity, I think, to go out on the court in front of all the people and in front of their teammates and the coach and say, well, I'm going to go out there and perform, and let's see how good I do. I think they have a lot of confidence. Bobby Miles is a tough kid. Stokes is just a good basketball player, and I have no doubts that both of them will do well.
Well, what Hawaii still has available tonight is Big V, Vander Joachim, the reigning WAC Player of the Week. Averaged 22 points, 11 rebounds last week in a pair of games on the road against Fresno State and Nevada. And so that seems to now be the methodology here as this WAC season continues to progress. Let's work it to the big guy. Feed Big V down low.
I think they're just beginning to understand that that's the way they have to attack the game. Somebody made a comment to me earlier, and I think it's probably true. Vander probably has to learn to pass out of the double team a little bit better and help his teammates out. They'll be open up for that three-point shot. Find out who's doubling him and pass out. And I think that when that happens, he's already been preseason pick as an all-WAC player, and he certainly is looking like an all-WAC player in all the games I've seen. So I think that one of the keys to the game is to really get the ball inside the Vander.
Well, when Hawaii first met Louisiana Tech last season, the first of two meetings, both won by Hawaii, on the road in Ruston, Hawaii won that game. It snapped a 15-game road WAC losing streak for the University of Hawaii and was also the first WAC win for Gib Arnold in his career as head coach of the Rainbow Warriors. Tonight, La Tech will be looking to flip the script. They haven't won a WAC contest in now 10 outings and counting. We'll see what happens here this evening. We'll send it back over to Dash and Artie. Take it away, guys.
Artie, Kanoa, thank you very much. So you just heard the arithmetic from Kanoa. They come into this game, does La Tech 0-3 in the WAC. So what do they bring to the table? Certainly, the coach is not going to take La Tech lightly.
They're guard-oriented. They've got top 3 scorers are all their guards. They're all about the same size. They can all shoot it. They'll have 4 guys on the floor at a time that can shoot the 3. They try to get you going fast. They're going to press you, and they want to make it a real quick game. They do a great job of causing steals and turnovers. They're leading the conference in that, and they're right there. They played Idaho to overtime, and they were up 12 on Utah State. They're right there, and he's doing a good job with them, and I think they're playing pretty good basketball right now.
They're just athletic and they're young. They have a lot of energy. They're going to press, get up and down. But this one we want to get for Coach Rupp. We really want to get this one for Coach Rupp. Just for him. He's such a good guy, and he's got to come ready to play and be ready to run up and down the court.
Win this one for Coach Rupp. We'll talk about that tie-in just a moment, but first, We're down our top two guys. Let's look at their fearsome foursome.
Yeah, well, Appleby at 12 points a ball game and Gaskins at 10.6. Both guys shoot the ball real well. Both guys will get up and down the floor. The key for La Tech to be competitive in this ball game is they need to shoot a nice percentage from the field. They're not going to battle as well on the boards because they're not as large as the Warriors. But if they can knock down shots and minimize the number of important rebounds, they should stay in this ball game. The other thing that they need to do is really with Hawaii's guards being down now, they've got to get out and trap and try and confuse the other guards and force Hawaii into turning the ball over so this becomes a track meet, and the little guys can often win in a track meet. Hawaii, on the other hand, got to do the job from inside out, handle the pressure, get the ball into Vander, get the ball into Justin. When they kick it out, knock down three-point shots, and most importantly for the Rainbow Warriors, Howard, they have got to take care of the pressure and not turn the basketball over and give up lay-ins.
One thing that they have, the Warriors, is about the most perfect scout that you could possibly ask for when it comes to knowing what Louisiana Tech, the man on the left right there, that is Kerry Rupp, the Hawaii basketball coach who last year was the head coach at Louisiana Tech. He lost his job after a subpar season, and Gib Arnold wasted no time at all in picking him up and recruiting him as Hawaii's director of basketball operations. So what does he bring to the table? Well, we had a chance to talk about that connection as he now is wearing the green and not the blue.
For a lot of reasons, not just this game, Coach Rupp is an outstanding guy to have around, just with his basketball knowledge and his knowledge of the WAC. And obviously, we're going to lean on him too. But it's a new system, it's a new coach, so the scout, is going to be totally different. He knows a few player tendencies and things like that, but that's not going to play a major role in this game because it's an entirely new system.
Well, he's been good because a lot of those players played for him, so he knows their strengths and weaknesses. But against Louisiana Tech, I think it's going to help because he knows the personnel just so much more. And their systems, similar. They want to get up and down, so it's going to be interesting.
So Coach Rupp is going to be going up against a couple of players that he recruited, but as he said to them and his philosophy himself, things like this happen, you got to move forward, and look at this guy's resume.
Well, I'm sure he wants to get a win against his former team, and believe me, the players that he left there, they want to beat their old coach. It's a motivation both ways.
So let's talk about this team of Hawaii minus Zane, minus Mai, as we said. They're starting senior backcourt, and a team that comes in here 0-3. I mean, that's a dynamic that makes you kind of sit back and say, uh-oh, this could be one of those trap games for Hawaii.
Yeah, it is a game that the Rainbow Warriors must come out and perform from the very beginning. You give a visiting team confidence if you allow them to stay in the ball game, if you turn the basketball over, if you keep the score close. They go in the locker room with a close score, they start to really feel like they can win. Hawaii's got to come out and play like the dominant team, the bigger team, the better team from the tip. And if they do that, I think they should have a good shot at winning.
And based on what they did on the mainland again, beating Fresno State in overtime, nearly beating Nevada, a place where they are 0-16 lifetime, losing down the stretch. It is a team, even though they went 1-1, it is a team that is just oozing confidence as you look at the WAC standings, and Hawaii right there in the thick of things, Artie.
Well, Hawaii's right where it wants to be. I mean, if you could say to Gib Arnold that you could be 2-1 and have taken a road trip already, I think you would take that. Hawaii's got one road win. What they must do is really maintain home court advantage and not give up games at home. So this game, without your starting backcourt, without your senior leader in Zane Johnson and Mario Ostrowski, this game is one of those trap-type games. But if you're a mature team, as I think this Hawaii team is growing to be, I think if you're a team with a lot of confidence, and if you're a team that listens to your coaching staff and will perform based on the game plan, Hawaii should be able to get this victory.
All right, so very quickly, your expectations. You just kind of said it. Right
Hawaii
there.
should win this ball game if they come out and play smart and don't turn the basketball over and ride the big pony on the inside. You go into Vander over and over again. If they stop Vander, you get it into Jostin. If they stop Jostin, then you look for those threes.
All right, the table is set. Time to enjoy. Everybody sit back and get ready for University of Hawaii basketball. The Wahine already beat the Lady Texters. Now the men trying to make it a clean sweep. Coming up live next on OC Sports.
and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of our national anthem and Hawaii Pono'i. We'll ask you to take off your caps or hats if you're wearing them at this time. Please welcome two young ladies here to the Stan Sheriff Center. First of all, our national anthem being sung by a young lady who's a freshman at Mililani High School. She'd like to be a vocal instructor someday. Please welcome 14-year-old Leanne Suyat.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Leanne Suyat. To help lead us in Hawaii Pono'i, she would like to tour the world as a pop icon one day. She's an 8th grader, 13 years old, and she comes from Kahuku Intermediate School. Please welcome Arvi Dudulao.
Hawaii Pono'i, nana I komo'i, kalani ali'i, ke ali'i, makualani e, kamehameha e, nakawa e pale, mekai e, makualani e, kamehameha e, nakawa e pale, mekai e.
Ladies and gentlemen, Arvi Dudulao and Leanne Suyat.
Good evening, basketball fans, and welcome to the Stan Sheriff Center for tonight's Western Athletic Conference game between the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs and the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Here is your starting lineup for the Bulldogs. At forward, a 6'8" junior from Gonzales, Louisiana, number 25, J.L. Lewis. At guard, a 6'2" freshman from Jacksonville, Arkansas, number 3, Raheem Appleby. At guard, a 6'1" sophomore from Conway, Arkansas, number 21, Keon McNeil. At guard, a 6'5" sophomore from Cashada, Louisiana, number 15, Cordarius Johnson. And at guard, a 6'5" junior from Mariana, Florida, number 2, Brandon Gibson. The head coach for the Bulldogs is Michael White. forward, a 6'7" junior from Washington, D.C., number 5, Justin Thomas. At forward, a 6'6" junior from Bartlett, Tennessee, number 21, Hans Brereton. At center, a 6'10" junior from Luanda, Angola, number 15, Vander Joachim. At guard, a 5'10" freshman from Harlem, New York, number 4, Shaquille Stokes. At guard, a 6'1" sophomore from Los Angeles, California, number 1, Bobby Miles. The head coach for the Rainbow Warriors is Gib Arnold.
In its WAC Swan Song season, Gib Arnold's Rainbow Warrior basketball team is off to a 2-1 start in conference for the first time since 2004. But tonight, Hawaii will have to make do without its backcourt tandem of seniors, assist leader Jeremiah Ostrowski and top scorer Zane Johnson. It's a WAC battle between the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs and the short-handed Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, live from the Stan Sheriff Center. Here is the scene just prior to tip-off here between the Rainbow Warriors and the Bulldogs of La Tech. Your Hawaiian Tel FCU starting lineup scrolling at the top of your screen. And as we have mentioned through the pregame, Bobby Miles, Shaquille Stokes, Hans Brereton, all getting starts tonight. Most in part because of the absences of Maya Ostrowski because of a staph infection and Zane Johnson because of flu-like symptoms. Vander Joachim, the reigning WAC Player of the Week, will jump at center with J.L. Lewis. Kanoa Leahy, Tony Salido, Artie Wilson, and it's Raheem Appleby, the freshman, who sort of stole that one out of the air off of the tip. And so the Bulldogs control on the first possession. This is Keon McNeil with it, a 6'1" sophomore. Very young team, this Bulldog squad. In fact, in terms of inexperience, they are considered the 8th least experienced team in the country, with just 13 years of college basketball seasons among the roster. A miss there, and here comes Hawaii across the timeline. Vander Joachim, this is going to be much of the game plan for Hawaii. Feed the big fella. It relocates to Brereton, who can't hit the three from the corner. Lead pass ahead, Cordarius Johnson, and he draws the whistle. That is a symbol of La Tech basketball for many, many, many years. Athleticism, we saw a little bit of that right there.
As quick as possible because they realize they're not nearly as large as Hawaii, so the only chance they have in this ball game is get the ball off the glass, push it down the floor, and try and attack in transition.
Well, I think that was Hawaii's, that was a great first play for Hawaii. Throw the ball inside. You know, Vander leads the league in block shots. He leads the league in rebounds. And, you know, I think it's a great idea that they throw it inside. He definitely will have a big game tonight. He's easily the biggest guy on the floor. Huge.
And as Johnson hits the free throw, Raheem Appleby is in the tunnel area behind the La Tech bench. He's the leading scorer on the team from Jacksonville, Arkansas, 12.5 points per game, and he looks to be banged up. So they bring in senior Trevor Gaskins, who's the only other player on this roster averaging double digits, just over 10 points a contest. So La Tech playing shorthanded here at the early going.
Well, if you remember at the beginning of the ballgame, he stole that tip and hit his knee. It looked like on the court, and it looks like it's really bothering him.
No question, that's how he got hurt, right in the opening play of the game.
Thomas can't hit from in the lane. Here comes La Tech. Johnson again. Rising up. That one falls short. Justin Thomas rips away the board. Shaquille Stokes finds Miles for three. Yes, Bobby Miles.
Wow, Bobby Miles comes up with a big-time three-point shot. Everybody, when he rose, everybody kind of held their breath, and then they went, oh, great shot, Bobby.
Just his 7th start of the season, Bobby Miles. Didn't even play in 2 of the last 4 games. Was a DNP versus UNLV and a DNP versus Fresno State on the road last week. And he hits his 4th triple of the year right there.
Nice looking shot by Bobby. Shot it with a lot of confidence, followed through, had nice balance, and backed off of it after that shot. Like, no problem, guys.
Well, I thought he was wide open on that
Yeah, I
shot,
think
too.
so, huh?
That, that's probably the hardest shot to make in basketball, the open one.
Meanwhile, Trevor Gaskins misses an open 3 try. Miles almost carried it. Delivers it down low to Thomas. The lean in, got it.
And that's the advantage that Hawaii has right there. If they work it inside, whether it's Justin Thomas or Vander Joaquin, that's where they can score.
Thomas averaging 17 points and 8 rebounds over his last 5 games. And a 5-2 advantage early for Hawaii. This is J.L. Lewis. That one missed badly. Rebound gathered by Shaq Stokes. Stokes with the stutter step. Shaq getting his 10th start of the year, but he's seen his minutes diminish here in recent weeks. In fact, in WAC games, they've played 3 coming in, averaging just 8 minutes per outing, under 2 points per game.
Well, I think part of that reason is because Miles Drosky's played so well and leads the league in assists. You can't keep that kind of guy on the bench. So I have no problem with that.
Different story tonight, though. It'll be an opportunity for Shaq Stokes to do his thing. Meanwhile, doing his thing in the lane there for La Tech, J.L. Lewis.
Well, J.L. Lewis took it right at Vander Joaquin, which is a nice sign for La Tech that they weren't going to back off the big guy.
Well, I went to practice yesterday, and they practiced breaking this press that La Tech put up, and they didn't seem to have any problem with it whatsoever. So I don't think it'll be a problem for them tonight.
15 on the shot clock here for Hawaii. Pass into the corner, got tipped. Last touch by Stokes. And it belongs to Louisiana Tech. Stokes argues the point to no avail.
Well, I'd just like to say something about that. Whenever you run down to the end of the shot clock and a set doesn't work, you have to have an outstanding player with outstanding talent to break down the defense and to make that score.
3 up, 3 down from the corner. Cordarius Johnson. He's a 34% three-point shooter. He is a Louisiana guy, and he's able to put La Tech up 2.
There's the 2 press.
Brereton gets it to go, but they wave the basket off. A foul on the drive.
A sweet move by Hans, though. You see the long three-pointer there just a moment ago by Johnson and Louisiana Tech. They're feeling pretty good about themselves now, up by 2. But Hans Brereton showed something. Kanoa looked like you in the summer league, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah?
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, there you go. Going baseline, throwing it up against the glass.
Brandon Gibson picking up the foul, his first for La Tech. Vander Joaquin lost it, fell to the floor. Here comes McNeil in transition, hesitation move, and the finish. Nicely done.
That's why I said track meet is in La Tech's favor. If they can get up and down the floor, that's what they want to do.
And here's the 2 press again. They're going to press all night, it looks like.
See if they can keep that up. They do rotate quite a few players in and out of the game. 10 different players have started this season for Louisiana Tech. Justin Thomas, toe on the line, hits the jumper. Justin sporting the Mohawk look a la Vander Joaquin. We saw the Vanderhawk the last time Hawaii was playing at home. Now we got the Jayhawk, Justin Thomas. 10 seconds on the shot clock here for the Bulldogs. They get into the hands of Keon McNeil. Driving against Vander, gets it stolen away by Brereton. A 2-on-1 for Hawaii. Brereton takes it himself and finishes the deal. We're tied up at 9. 15 minutes left here in the first half. Johnson finds Gaskins in the deep corner. That one misses. Rebound Thomas, who falls to the hardwood. And a foul will go against Louisiana Tech. It will be on J.L. Lewis. That's his first. Under 15 to go in the first. We're knotted up at 9 at the Stan Sheriff Center. Welcome back to the Stan Sheriff Center. Let's take a look at the Kaiser Permanente keys to the game, guys.
When you look at the keys to the ball game for Hawaii, Vander Joaquin, ride the Vander, and that's right inside out. I think whether it's riding Vander or riding Justin, that's what you have to do if you're the Rainbow Warriors, go inside out.
You know, and I think if you're Louisiana Tech, you have to have probably one of your better offensive games, because if you don't, you're going to get blown out. So they have to keep hitting the outside three. I don't think they'll be able to establish an inside game, but they'll have to play the best offensive game in the year to be in a game with UH.
Right now, Cordarius Johnson leading all scorers for La Tech. He has 5. Justin Thomas leading Hawaii with 4. Vander Joaquin still scoreless thus far. The reigning WAC Player of the Week, and a couple of subs in for the Bulldogs as well. Freshman Kenneth Smith is on the floor along with Mario Sousa. And how about that meeting at the rim? Vander Joaquin went down hard.
Well, that's unfortunate because there was an excellent pass by Shaq Stokes. Vander goes up. Nothing to soften that landing right there. And you like the fact that all the players went strong and hard to the basket. It was not a dirty play. It was just a tough play.
Yeah, that's 6'10", 245 going straight to the deck.
And nothing broke that.
No way. He fell on his back, and I'm surprised. Yeah, he's grabbing his lower back. And I think, you know, whenever a big man loses his feet like that, you always kind of close your eyes and hope and pray that nothing happened to him, because he was really off balance there and could have hurt himself badly.
So Joaquin will go to the free throw line, where he is this season a 67% shooter. That foul was called against Raheem Appleby, the 6'2" freshman starter, who left the game a little bit after that injury that appeared to take place on the opening tip. He's back out on the floor for Louisiana Tech.
Well, that miss was definitely a result of the fall, so I hope he shakes it off for the second shot.
Yeah, Joaquin still trying to shake that one loose. Anytime you hit the floor like that, the floor always wins.
Yeah, no question about it.
I haven't seen too many players beat that floor, that's for sure.
Joaquin averaging a team best 9.8 rebounds.
Attaboy.
Second in the
That's
WAC
way to hit
in
that
rebounds, in fact. And yes, hitting the second free throw, putting Hawaii up 1. This is Sousa working against Joaquin, and he's able to get the hook shot to go. And Justin Thomas goes down in a hump. No whistle on the play.
And there they are in that 2 press. Coach worked on it all day yesterday in practice, and so here are the results. No turnovers. That's terrific.
So La Tech by a point. And a whistle away from the ball is going to go against Vander Joachim. So we're seeing the physicality increased here after that first timeout.
Well, Souza does a job of keeping Vander from going all around the floor, forced him into that turnover.
Joachim's first foul. A couple of big boys battling between Joachim and Sousa. Both 6'10 and 245 listed. Crowd thought Gaskins walked with it, no whistle. And here is Tomario Sousa from Brazil, working against the Angolan Joachim. Joachim won that battle with the rejection. 30th block of the year for Joachim. Stokes, nice shimmy move, rises up and knocks it down.
See, that's what Shaq Stokes can do, Kenora. He does have the ability to get his shot off. And I like to see the young guy get a little more confidence now. He's feeling better about himself.
Well, you know, that was the 3rd time that Louisiana Tech ran the clock down to the end, and it's the 3rd time they didn't even hit the rim. And as I said before, if you're going to do that, you got to have some talented players. Like that guy just made a nice move there.
Yeah, good looking bucket there by the 6'5 junior Brandon Gibson. Louisiana Tech back up 1. Miles picking up the dribble. Now Brereton looking into the post. Gets it to Thomas, immediately double teamed. Goes up anyway and gets it blocked. And now a 2-on-none. Gaskins, easy bucket.
That's a breakdown by the Hawaii guards. You cannot let 2 guys get down the floor. Somebody's got to rotate back, either Bobby Miles or Shaq Stokes.
And definitely Justin Thomas should have seen that double team coming. No question about it, and passed it out.
There's Joachim. Finds Brereton. Thought about the 3. Got Gaskins up in the air, and Gaskins commits the foul. That's his first.
You see this now, this forced shot here by Justin Thomas didn't get anything, and when you look at it, there's no guards for Hawaii back. Shaq Stokes sprints down to try and get back, but it's way too late.
Well, that's his responsibility, no question. You know, he should be back there and playing defense on that play, and that broke down a little bit for UH.
There's a good look at the head coach for Louisiana Tech in his first year, Michael White, just 34 years of age. Was an assistant at Ole Miss the last 7 years. Actually has a couple of Ole Miss transfers on this roster in Trevor Gaskins and freshman reserve Isaiah Massey.
34, that's awful young for a head basketball coach at Division I program.
Miles up and under. Rattled in and out. Wiseman had the offensive rebound, lost it out of bounds. It stays here with the team in white.
You know, Trevor Wiseman is the junkyard dog. He gets his hands on a lot of balls. Not the greatest jumper in the world, but he finds a way to compete every time he's in the ball game.
12:23 left to play in the first half. If you're just joining us, Hawaii playing without Maya Ostrowski. Did not practice all week because of a staph infection. Zane Johnson also, we learned just prior to tip-off, out tonight with the flu. So their top assist man, there's Maya on the bench. Zane Johnson not present tonight, at home taking care of himself. So their top assist man in Maya, top scorer in Zane, both out. Hawaii trying to make do at 2-1 in the WAC against 0-3 Louisiana Tech. Stokes turns it over for Darius Johnson, who just checked in. Here's Appleby, leading scorer on the squad, and that's part of the reason why.
Freshman.
What La Tech wants to do is have a track meet. They know they can't get into a half-court sets and beat Hawaii, so they'll come down the floor and just take shots. They figure they have nothing to lose.
Miles picking up the dribble, now finds Joachim. Back to Miles. Underneath, got stuck, couldn't finish. Joachim the board, trying to muscle it up, and gets it to go. That took a little bit of guts right there by Big V. Sousa jumper. Rebound to Brereton, Hawaii trailing by 3. Here's Joaquim getting position down low. The pump fake, hop step, and a foul called against the Bulldogs.
And Dick Sousa is going to be called for the foul, and Vander is probably thinking to himself, well, it's about time.
First foul for Sousa, but the freshman Appleby, top scorer on the team, has La Tech up 3.
OC Sports. OC Sports, presented on Oceanic Time Order Cable, is sponsored by Bank of Hawaii and Kaiser Permanente.
Back here at the Stan Sheriff Center, Louisiana Tech up 3 on the home team Rainbow Warriors. You can't really see him in the midst of that huddle for the Bulldogs, but head coach Michael White, we mentioned, just 34 years of age. He's actually the 12th youngest coach in Division I hoops. Andy Toole of Robert Morris is the youngest at 31.
I can't believe that. I wasn't even born at 34, so I can't imagine a guy getting a Division I job at 34. That's pretty good.
Of course, taking over for the current Hawaii Director of Operations, Kerry Rupp, who is most definitely the most qualified, perhaps overqualified Director of Operations in all of college basketball. A steal by La Tech and a foul at the other end will go against Garrett Jefferson, who just checked in for Hawaii.
No, that a steal is just a kind of a poor pass by Hans Brereton. I'm not sure what he didn't see, but Jefferson tried to strip the ball, gets called for the foul. The one thing Hawaii needs to do a better job of is taking care of the basketball. When you say, Coach, they got their 6th turnover now.
Yeah, and they have to get back on defense once in a while. I mean, they can't let these guards break out like that. It definitely is going to hurt him. What I liked about Garrett was that at least he fouled him and made him shoot for the 2 rather than give him 2.
Appleby able to knock it down. Free throws not a strength for Louisiana Tech. As a team, they shoot just 61%. That is last among WAC teams.
Now they switch to a 3 press from a 2, so.
Miles, strong drive, doesn't finish. Brereton cleans up.